Hello everyone. I hope all will be fine during this pandemic. Welcome back to my channel Tech Guides. Today is the first video for the course A+ by CompTIA. Let's start. What is a computer? A computer is a machine that takes input, processes data and displays output. Now over here, when I'm using the word input, the first question that arises in the mind is what exactly is input related to? Definitely, we are talking about different devices which are connected to a computer. So over here, an input is referred to an input device. What sort of an input device are we talking about? We are talking about, yes, a keyboard. So using a keyboard, we can fetch data to a computer which can process and then display the result on the screen. Now let's know about input and output devices. I will begin with input devices first. We already learned that keyboard is an input device, but they are more than that. So let me show you with illustrations at what are the all input devices available with us. So over here we have a mouse, a keyboard, touchscreen, digital camera, trackpad, barcode scanner and a joystick, or we just call it a gamepad. We just saw an overview of all the devices that belong to the same family. But now let's discuss each and every single device individually in a very brief format. The first input device I would like to talk about is a mouse. A mouse is a small piece of hardware equipment which is used to control the cursor throughout the graphical user interface, which we already know as a GUI. A mouse performs different functionalities, like we can point to different icons, folders, files, we can select, we can drag them into each other, or we can just simply double click on a file to open it. Not only this, a mouse also performs a scrolling functionality within a document. It does not matter which document you have opened and on which document you are working at. The second input device I would like to talk about is a keyboard. A keyboard is one of the primary components which is used with a computer. A keyboard comes with a set of buttons which are categorized into letters, numbers and symbols. A keyboard is the only piece of equipment that comes with an interpreter. An interpreter performs the functionality of translating the keys into binary codes. These binary codes are further read by the computer once the information is processed from binary and it is displayed back on our screens in a readable format. The third input device I would like to talk about is a touchscreen. A touchscreen is a device that allows the user to interact with the graphical user interface directly without the need of a mouse and a keyboard. Where do we find these touchscreens? Very simple. Our phones are basically touchscreens. We can find them in kiosks where we can interact with different functionalities that a kiosk has to offer. Cash registers, high-end laptop models, all-in-one desktops. Let's talk about another input device, which is a digital camera. A digital camera is not only an input device but acts both as an input and output. So it is more of a device that can interact with the computer in two ways. Now when we talk about digital cameras, the first thing that clicks in our mind is digital photography. But once this device is connected to a machine, it can act as an external webcam, or it can act as a device which can be used for video recording. Not only this, but we can transfer files in and out. A barcode scanner is an input device which is used to read from the barcode images which are available on boxes, printed materials, and translates them into a human readable format. That format is known as alphanumeric. Let's talk about another input device, which is a scanner. Yes, I am relating to a flatbed scanner, which scans images, files, documents, or any physical object optically and converts them into digital images. These digital images can then be saved as JPEGs, BMPs, GIFs, or any other particular different format, etc. etc. We all love playing games, so let's talk about joystick and gamepad. A gamepad is a handheld device which usually works by navigating with our thumbs and fingers, but a joystick is a handle with a few buttons which is connected directly to the base or a pedestal and is usually used to play flight simulator games. We just discussed about input devices, but now let's talk about output devices. Output devices are those on which we see the physical presentation. Now, when I am referring to a physical presentation, the first thing that comes into mind is I am talking about a monitor where we all see the graphical user interface for any operating system that we are using, either it's Windows or it's Apple Mac or it's Linux. Speaking about output devices, we have many. To have a better understanding, let me walk you through a few illustrations. Alright, so we can see a few output devices over here. To start with, first I can see there is a monitor. The second is a printer. Third are headphones. Fourth are computer speakers. We can see a monitor between the computer speakers, and just imagine there is a movie playing or a song and we can hear some nice music out of it. The fifth one is a projector. Sixth is a sound card. Seventh is a video card. And eighth is a braille reader. Let's talk about monitors. A monitor is an output device. Now, there are different types of monitors available in the market. If we look back at the first era, the monitors used to look quite huge and bulky. They used to carry a DP15 interface, which was a D-shaped shell with 15 pins inside it, and it used to carry asynchronous data transmission according to RS-232. As technology changed, monitors took a new shape. The first kind of new monitors that arrived in the market were LCDs. Then we talk about LEDs. Then we talk about OLEDs. Then we talk about UHDs. Now all these type of monitors carry different kinds of interfaces. Nowadays, the kind of interfaces that we use with a monitor is HDMI. Or we go for a digital video port, which is known as DV. Or we can do a conversion like a DV to HDMI. HDMI stands for High Definition Multimedia Interface. Let's talk about printers. A printer is a second type of an output device. Although there are different types of printers available in the market, we will have a complete chapter about this and we will discuss in much detail. But for a short brief, a printer is a device which is used to print out documents, pictures, and much more. The third input device I would like to talk about are headphones. When we talk about headphones, the first thing that comes into mind is that we need to keep a conversation to our own selves, or we are listening to music, or we are watching a movie, and we just need to maintain some privacy. But there is a catch. When it comes to headphones, there are different types of headphones available in the market. Some are available with microphone, which turn them to be an input and an output device both. But there will be a complete chapter about sound, and we will discuss about all of this in much more detail. The next output device we are going to talk about are computer speakers. They are mainly only used to produce sound. Now, when we are talking about sound and computer speakers, there is a wide and a different range available in the market, starting from 2.1 to a scale of 7.1 and beyond. It all depends if you are looking for something which is very normal or you are looking for something which is really good to be an entertainment system. Let's talk about projectors. Projectors are another form of display device. But in this case, a projector throws the display over to a projection sheet. Now, when we are talking about projectors, there is a focal lens. The lens can be adjusted to make sure that the clarity of the picture is 100% through and we are able to see properly on the projection sheet. Now, talking about projectors, there is one more thing. Earlier projectors used to have DB15 connectors, which was the first era when the monitors, the CRT monitors were used. But nowadays we have projectors which come with a HDMI interface, a DV interface, and they can carry up to an image scale of a 4K. The next output device I would like to talk about is a sound card. But a sound card can perform a dual functionality of an input and an output. How? Is because on the sound card we can attach a microphone as well. Now, when we are talking about a digital signal to be converted into analog, this is where a digital signal from a computer can be converted to an analog signal by the sound card and projected to the speakers, where it can create a sound. Now, vice versa, we are using a microphone connected to the same sound card and it converts the signal from being analog to digital and can be read by the computer and processed, which can be heard by the other party and ourselves as well. Now, not only this, if we talk about sound cards, the earlier era when sound cards used to be a peripheral control interface card. Now, when I say PCI cards used to slot in on a PCI slot on the motherboard. Let's talk about another output device which is known as a display card. A display card is mainly responsible for the projection of video onto a monitor screen. Display cards can be found as a built-in device on the motherboard, or we can buy an external display card from the market. We have display cards available which are only for gaming purpose. Let's talk about another output device which is a braille reader. This device is used by visually impaired or blind people. A computer sends a signal using a special software to the braille reader where the pins, where we can say as rounded pins, are raised through the flat surface, and these people read the message by swiping their fingers on top of it. I hope today's video was quite informative. So here's just a recap. We learned about input and output devices. And we also saw how many types of input and output devices are available. I'm pretty sure there are much more devices available out there in the market, which we will discuss later and we will discuss in depth. For now, let's move forward to a question and answer session. So here we are with the 3 questions, and let's see how many right answers do we get based on the learning that we have done today. You can mention all the answers just right below at the comments box. As we all know, learning never stops, irrespective of age and the field you come from. I hope today's topic was delivered with useful information. If you have liked my today's video, do mention your feedback in the comment section below. For great motivation and channel support, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all the latest upcoming ones. Till then, take care, stay safe, signing off.